What's up, YouTube? It's the boy Trey. This is the life of Trey. And today we're going to talk about how I got into a construction slash trade job with no experience. I kind of went over a little bit in the last video, but this is a more detailed version of how I got into the trades, and this may help you be able to get into the trades. It's just how I got in, so it may help you, it may not, but hey, let's get to it. So for me, getting into the trades, I thought the only way you could get in was trade school. A lot of people would push trade school, trade school, trade school. And it's not even like the people that's in the trades. It's just be like, if you're looking up trade videos or anything like that, you'll see the ads pop up and things like that. But once I did more research, I checked Reddit, which Reddit is okay source. Sometimes there's people in there that give you bad advice, so you have to do your own research, your own due diligence. And also, I watch YouTube videos, and that's how I learned what an apprenticeship is. So an apprenticeship is basically like a trade school that you don't have to pay for. They pay for it. You learn hands-on training, like you get real job experience, and you do schooling. So you do the two together. So once I heard that, I'm like, basically, I'm getting paid to go to school, go to trade school. I said, okay, where do I sign up? Now I did some research on union and non-union, and if you haven't done research on that, you can do your own research. I may make another video describing why I chose union over non-union, but I chose the union. But I'm just going to give you a quick preview, like a quick reasoning why I joined the union instead of the non-union. So for me, I wanted a pension, I wanted the benefits for sure, I wanted health care, dental, and I wanted the pay raises were higher, at least in my area, for non-union and union. Most of the time, the union pay raises are going to be higher than non-union. I talked to a couple people and they were saying they only got paid maybe $1 a year raise in non-union. For us, we get a $4 raise every year, and then we negotiate contracts every 3 years. So right now, we're probably going to end up negotiating a contract and getting more pay plus that $4 a year. But those were the main reasons I chose union. So I applied to every union trade, and there's a lot of trades that have unions, like plumbers, the electricians, pipe fitters, equipment operators, sheet metal. Some of these trades I never even heard of, carpentry. So I applied to sheet metal. I didn't even know what sheet metal was. I applied to it, and thankfully they reached out to me and said, "Hey, we got a job here an hour away." I seen it was an hour away. Kind of intimidated me a little bit because I was like, an hour away. I mean, I have a decent car, but I just didn't know how that would work every day driving to work an hour away. But hey, I sent the documents needed. They sent me an orientation day. I came out to orientation. Then the next day they said bring some work boots. Now at the time I did not have work boots. I went to Walmart, grabbed some work boots, and came right back. Now I suggest if you don't have any work boots, go get some Walmart ones for at least a week or two, couple paychecks, and then get you some better boots. Because those Walmart boots, they were good for a week or two, maybe 3. They was hurting my feet, hurting my ankles, leaving sores, anything like that. Do not cheap out on the boots, man. That's for sure. Get some good soles as well. So after I got those boots, I ended up buying some new boots, maybe 2 or 3 weeks after that. But I was working a job I'm still there. So 7 months, almost going on 8 months now. And I love it. I love it so far. And it's been cool, good experience. You're always learning. That's one thing in the trades. That's very true. You're always learning. There's something new every day. And I'm an apprentice, and I'm learning so much. Even when you get journeyed out, I'm pretty sure you're going to learn something new. You're going to learn something new almost every day, if not every other day. So yeah, that's how I got in the sheet metal union. Now, in my union, sheet metal union, the one I'm in, my local, we don't have to take a basic English or basic math test at all. They sent us the job. After they sent us the job, I got put into my apprenticeship school maybe a month or 2 later. Now with you, it may be different. You may have to take a basic math and English test. And I had studied for that test, so if I had to take it, I would have. But just keep in mind that if you're applying to these unions, you may have to do a basic math and English test, and that's just in an interview. That's just what it is. I didn't have to do any of that, thankfully. and my local is kind of pretty decent wage for where I live at. Journeyman make 54 an hour after 5 years. So hey, that's something to look forward to. But if you can't get into the union and you still like, man, I need some construction experience, I say apply non-union. Now, if you want a specific trade, like a plumbing, you want to be a plumber or electrician, things like that, then you can apply to those jobs. You can apply to those unions. But there's a lot of people that want to do trades. There's a lot of apprentices. So me personally, what I did was I wasn't going to pick a specific trade. I'm going to apply to them all because I wanted to learn a trade. Now, if you want to learn a specific trade and you can't get in that trade and it's taking too long, then you can either apply to different trades. That's the one that you don't want. Get in there, learn as much as you can. Learn them how to work in a construction site. Learn how to use tools. Learn how to use a tape measure. Learn how to read blueprints. Just learn that one trade, master that trade, and then you can always switch to whatever trade you want in the future. But that's just getting that experience in the construction field in general will help you get hired in another trade, because they're like, okay, you showed up to this trade, you became a journeyman in the carpentry, so I know that you can stick to something at least 5 years till you become a journeyman. Because most of these unions and most of these companies don't want to just invest in someone that's just going to up and leave. So you have to keep that in mind. So what I would do, if you're in a union area or a place that has a very good union, I would apply to every union around. While you wait, if it's taking too long, maybe 6 months, 4 months, apply to non-union as well, or apply to them both. That's really the best thing to do. Apply to union, apply to non-union. If you get a non-union offer before you get into the union, go do the non-union job. You can still get in the union. Just because you're in non-union doesn't mean you have to leave non-union and don't go in the union. You can still apply. You can still do that interview. And if you don't get accepted in the union, you're still non-union. Maybe stay in non-union for 2 or 3 more years, gain that experience, then switch to union. But just try to get your foot in the door somehow, some way. Now, if you can't get in the union, it's taking like a year, and you can't get a non-union job, it's taking like a year, and you're probably working with customer service or something, and you really want to change your career, and you have the money for it, then trade school, I would feel like it's the last option. But me personally, I don't think you should do trade school. I don't think you should be paying to learn a trade. If you really want to learn, you're really dedicated, try doing some stuff around the house, basic stuff. Maybe patching a wall, maybe trying to build a garden outside, things like that. Do like your own projects. And then when you go into the interview, you say, hey, yeah, I know how to use a tape measure. I did the garden. I measured it this way, did this. Just keep that in mind. I don't want this video to go too long, but that's really the main way of how I got into the trades. And I kind of explained how I think you should. But hey, you could do it your own way. Some people don't want to be in the union. That's fine. Some people don't want to be non-union. That's fine. Whichever way you want to get into the trades, do it your way. Some states are not pro-union. Some states are not. They're just not pro-union. That's just what it is. So you may have to do non-union. But hey, that's the way I got into the trades. That's really all I have. If you have any questions, leave them below, comment, message me. Please like and subscribe, and there will be more videos. Thank you. Thank you for staying this long, and I'm out.